Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. My name is Annalise and this is my channel where we get planty with it. So today I have a lot of different plant chores I've been needing to do. I don't think I'm going to be able to get them all done today, so I think I'll just continue this over the next few days as I do all of the different plant related things that I need to do. But there's two main ones that I wanted to get started at least today. So the first is about my Xanthosoma lindenii. I absolutely love this plant, and I think in another video I explained that when it was first sent to me by Costa Farms, the ceramic planter it came in was broken. So I contacted them and they resent the planter, but they didn't just resent the planter, they actually sent a whole second plant. So I have two of these guys and they're so beautiful. Look at these massive leaves. This is the newest leaf. So beautiful. I love how cute these little ears are. But I thought it'd be really cool to pot them up together and have one massive plant. So that's something I want to do over the next few days. I would do it all today, but I'm actually out of soil. I have soil on the way, but it's not here yet. So I think I'm just going to get everything else ready to do it and then do that in the coming days. So I recently picked up this planter here, really big, from Home Goods for $10, which is such a good deal. Definitely a hack if you need planters but you don't want to spend so much money. Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, they all have really good planters usually at thanks Ella. They have really good planters at really good prices. So I mean $10 for like a, I don't know how many inches this is, at least 12. And it's really pretty. It's this neutral white color, which kind of goes with the vibes of my collection and has these cute little feet. So the only downside of this planter, as you can see, there's no drainage inside. And when you have a planter, I like to have drainage actually in all of my planters, but especially when I have a larger planter that has quite a bit more soil in it, I've noticed that if you don't have drainage, the soil can stay wet way more easily and the chances of rot increase in a bigger pot, at least in my experience. So I want to get some drainage holes in here. So I'm going to get my drill out and I'm going to try to drill maybe at least 2. We'll see how hard it is to do, maybe like 4 if I can do 4. So let's get drilling. Okay, so I am ready to drill, but before I do, quick sit. So good. Okay. So I have these special drill bits that I got initially for drilling holes in glass for LECA, but I found that they work in terracotta and whatever material this is. No idea what this really is. Maybe ceramic, things like that. So it works in everything. It's just a special drill bit, and I'll of course link it in the description box because I really recommend having one of these on hand. It's really helpful if you find a planter you absolutely love but there's no drainage. You can still get it and easily drill some holes in it. And for people who are intimidated by drills, I know I definitely was. I had never used a drill before starting my plant journey. And even to this day, I really only use drills for plant stuff, but it's super easy. It's really not as scary or hard as it looks. I know at least for me it felt scary. I know a lot of people are really good at that kind of stuff, but I never was. I have my pot on the table. I like to put down something kind of like soft under it just so it has a little bit of, I don't know, I feel like that helped. Maybe it doesn't do anything. And then I do like to have something under it as well because as you drill through, a lot of like dust particles, sand, and ceramic will go under, so this helps collect easily. So I'm probably gonna stand to get a little more force with it. So I think I'm gonna aim for 1 hole between each of the legs and then maybe 1 in the middle. So we'll try right here first. It doesn't really matter where you do drainage holes, I just kind of make it up. Let me move this over. As you can see, dust is already flying, so just make sure you have nothing that, you don't want dust to get in or on around your drilling. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of dust down here, so I will just toss that real quick and then continue on. Okay, now that that is all set, the holes are drilled, the pot is ready to go. I'm gonna put it to the side because, as I said, I don't have enough soil to do the entire repot today, and I worry yeah, there's definitely not enough soil already in here to make it work, so I'd need some extra soil. So hopefully in the next like 2-3 days, I will be able to get this part done. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, here is my Cebu blue, or Cebu blue, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. So I think I want to transfer it into this pot. It's pretty much the same size, but it's been sitting in this nursery pot for weeks now. I got this one at Planted by Christy in my plant shop with me video, so definitely give that a watch if you want to see some of the great plants I had like this one. But I'm going to transfer it into here and it'll live here kind of permanently for a while. And then I was inspired, I saw a Plant Life in the Tropics video with Caitlin the other day, and she was showing us how well her Cebu blue was doing on a plank. And so I decided it's time, I want to plank this guy. As you can see, with it just lining, the leaves are getting smaller as it goes, and it'd be really cool to have them getting bigger. So probably were wondering what this is, but this is the wood I'm going to try to attach it to, and then prop this up somewhere, I don't know where yet, and have it grow up the wood. So first for the repot, I do have a little bit of soil, so I'm gonna grab the little bit that I had to repot this into here. Okay, so here's my little bit of soil. There is a big hole in the bottom of this pot. You can see a bunch of soil just fell through, but I'll clean that up after. That's such a big hole. Okay, new idea. So I'm going to take a piece of leca, which there's a little bit in my soil mix, and try to use that to plug the hole a bit. As you can see, this hole is massive, and so all this soil just spilled at the bottom, and that's not work. So I put a piece of leca in, and it'll still let water get through, but not as much soil will fall through it. I think I'm gonna try to not disturb this very much and just take it out and kind of just transfer it without messing up the roots. One helpful trick when you have a plant in a plastic nursery pot and you're trying to get it out and it's feeling kind of stuck, which this one is because there are roots poking at the bottom. So first I like to poke through the holes in the bottom a little bit just to kind of loosen it up, and then if you squeeze around the nursery pot, it helps loosen it. And so there we go, it all came out in one piece. There's too much soil in here. The leca piece fell out. So that looks pretty good. Now I'm just gonna fill around it with soil and then we should be all set. I also prefer to do my repotting when the soil is dry, so the plant was not recently watered. I just find it's a lot easier. It makes less of a mess, even though I'm making a big mess here right now, but less than when it's wet, because then there's soil sticking everywhere and sticking to everything. When it's dry, it's a little bit easier. And then I do like to water it as soon as I repot, which is another reason why it's good to have it dry, then you don't risk overwatering it, but it helps the soil just kind of settle around the roots and get into everywhere it's gonna be. So I'm gonna rinse this in the sink real quick, just give it a thorough water, clean this up, and then start getting the plank situation ready. Okay, so I've moved us into the plant room because this is where the plank is gonna sit in front of the window, and I'm gonna do it here just so it's not too complicated to move later. Before we do that though, let me show you guys. We had a tropical storm or hurricane here last night. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like 4 inches of water on my balcony, and there's no drainage and we have no idea what to do about it. So I guess that's just gonna hang out there. A little swimming pool, really exciting. Thankfully, we didn't have much damage beyond that. We did get some flooding into our bedroom, but nothing too crazy, so I'm very thankful. Okay, so here is the Cebu all ready to go, looking super beautiful. I'm gonna kind of just put her down here. This planter does have a bottom. I just couldn't find it right now, but I'll find it later and put that in. And so I'm pretty much just gonna use regular tape here to tape this plant onto the plank, and then over time, as the aerial roots develop, it'll stick up on its own. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. Sorry it's a bit dark, it is a little bit later in the day. So I tape up there. I'll probably try to tape it one more time down in the middle there. Okay, great. And then I think there's one more vine. Yeah, there's one vine on the side over here. I'm gonna tape it along. Okay, so I think this is as good as it's gonna be for right now. These vines, no, they're a little bit too far off to tape up right now. I guess I could do it like that. Okay, I'll try that. So it looks kind of wonky now, but give it a few weeks, probably months, and then I think it should be looking pretty cool. I'll definitely include an update on that guy in a future video. Okay guys, I'm back to continue doing my plant chores. It's quite a couple of days later, probably about 4 days later. I was actually out of town this weekend, so I didn't get to do as much as I wanted to do, but I'm back and we're going to continue on with what I was working on last time, which was probably like 30 seconds ago for you, but a few days ago for me. So I have my pot already with the drainage holes drilled, and these are the two plants that I'm going to be potting up together to create one massive plant. Isn't that going to look nice? All of this in one pot? I think so. Okay, so step one, I have some soil mixed here, but I don't think it's going to be enough because this pot is really big. So I'm going to make a little bit more soil. This is not going to be a really intense like how I mix soil video. I'll tell you a little bit of what I do. To be fully transparent, my soil mixing process is usually kind of whatever I have, I throw in. There's not really like a lot of precise measurement. I just make sure it looks sufficiently chunky before I finish mixing. So I'll kind of show you guys a little bit about that today. Down the road, I can definitely do a full video on how I mix my soil and why I put in the ingredients that I do, but today I'm just gonna be kind of throwing stuff in here to make a fuller amount of soil, to make sure I have enough soil to repot these plants. Okay, so first, I really like using this Fox Farm brand soil. I found that it's already kind of chunkier to start with as opposed to like Miracle Grow or other kinds of more moisture retaining soil. So I like starting with this because it makes the process a bit easier. So let's just pour. Usually I do about half of the pot or half of the mixture with this kind of soil. And then I add in different amendments for the other half. Okay, that should be enough for now. Next, I'm adding orchid bark. I'll link all of these different products in the description box. I'm almost out of orchid bark, so normally I would add more, but I'm just adding whatever is left in this bag. Then I'm gonna add some perlite, just regular perlite. Then I like to add some horticultural charcoal. I don't know why I have this tiny bag. I thought it was way bigger when I ordered it. I usually have a bigger bag than this, but that's okay for now. And then last but not least, I added mosquito bits to help with fungus gnats. I want to start adding in worm castings too, but I just don't get that ordered before I can really add it in. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Bunch of stuff. I'm just gonna mix it until everything's pretty much incorporated. This is always the most satisfying part of making soil, mixing it and seeing all the ingredients like come together. Okay, so this is my like baseline soil mix. If I'm making soil for a plant that I know needs a really chunky soil, I may add more of some of these different ingredients, but these plants I've noticed are pretty thirsty, so I'm not too worried about this. Although this is fairly chunky, as you can see, there's, you know, quite a bit of orchid bark, perlite, charcoal, etc. breaking up the soil. So first I'm gonna lay down a nice layer of soil in here. Okay. So these two plants are actually from Costa Farms, and I'm not really sure what medium they are in. You can see, I think it might be kind of like cocoa coir-esque. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's what this is, I'm pretty sure. And as you can see, they're super rooty, so this is happening at a good time anyway. I'm gonna kind of break up some of this. I'm just gonna leave it in the same pot with the other soil because I think it's still fine soil, and I don't wanna waste it. But I do want to break this up a little bit just to make it easier to fit both plants in this pot, because I think it'd be hard if they had, you know, the full amount of soil on them. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be too low, so I'm gonna add more soil on the bottom. Let me mix it in with this cocoa coir. I don't know why I find soil mixing so satisfying. Is that just me? Like, it looks so nice. Okay, so I think we can get this guy in. Still kind of too low. Okay, let me get serious about adding more soil here. we're gonna make that work. That's good. Now these guys can come out. Okay, now let's get this other guy sorted. I made a mistake and I kind of just watered this plant, but hopefully that doesn't cause too many issues. So I'm just trying to break up the cocoa part again a little bit into the pot, mostly so I can just save most of this medium. Okay, and now I think I can squish this guy in next to it. I can, perfect. So now I'm gonna let's kind of arrange them a little bit. Which way seems kind of the best? That's a little hard to say. There's one yellowish leaf down here I'm just gonna cut off. Okay. It looks a little crowded now, but I think as everything kind of like settles in and acclimates, it'll kind of find a better setup in the pot. Now I'm just gonna fill all around the rest of it with soil. I'm gonna mix a little bit more soil off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, this part's not as chunky because I ran out of orchid bark, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna give it a quick rinse in the shower just to get some of the dirt off of it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished giving this guy a shower, and I think it looks so good. I'm loving how the pot looks with the plant. It's pretty massive, so I do now have to figure out where I'm gonna put a plant this big, but I can't wait to watch it grow and fill out even more and just become this huge statement plant. Okay, that part is done. So I had one more thing I wanted to do, and then I think I'm done for today and done for this video with all my plant chores. So I actually sold a couple plants on Instagram, and I'm gonna be mailing them out today to the person who bought them. And so I'm gonna package them up, make sure they're gonna make it there safely, and then head to the post office to send it out. That reminds me, if you don't already follow me on Instagram, please do. My handle is @getplanty with underscores between each word. I do sell plants there once in a while, so if you maybe wanna buy some plants for me or just follow all of my planty updates, I post pretty much every single day there. Definitely give me a follow. Okay, so I like shipping in sphagnum moss just because it helps keep the roots moist without having to use soil and deal with soil spillage and all that stuff. So first up is this philodendron mammii, such a cutie. It has 4 leaves. It just put out this newest baby leaf that's a little bit wonky, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, I'm not gonna wrap that one up first because that's gonna be a little bit harder. First, I'm gonna wrap up this variegated burl marks cutting. Look how beautiful that is. It shot out a few yellow leaves, but then it's also had some with green on it, so I'm hoping that it's not too much yellow. She can definitely cut it back if she wants, if it's too much yellow, but hopefully it's fine. So put some spag in the base of this cup. This is exactly the reason I keep plastic cups, so when I'm mailing stuff or doing plant trades and stuff like that, I can easily package it in this and not have to give away any, planters or pots or anything like that. Okay, I think I put a little bit too much spag because I want the plant to basically be all the way down in the cup so it can't really get damaged. Okay. I think that's pretty good. This leaf's sticking out a little bit, but we'll make sure it makes it okay. Then, I wasn't selling this, but I decided to just throw in this adorable little Burl Marks fantasy cutting because I don't need it. Throw it in here, put it in this bag. We're gonna try to put this guy in here with that as well. Okay, so I'm changing the plan here. I was gonna ship, this guy fits in this cup fine and I could protect it, but I'm just worried about this guy because the leaves are kind of delicate. I don't want it flopping around. So I have so many of these boxes and they're pretty cheap. So I think I'm just gonna like ship it in one of these plastic boxes, obviously in a shipping box. Let's see if this even fits, if that would. Yeah, I just feel a little better about you know, this is gonna be a better situation with it in here. We hope. I just really don't want anything to happen to these plants, so I'd rather be safe than sorry and send it in this, you know, more industrial box situation, but make sure everything makes it okay. All the way to Texas. Okay, so I think that's pretty decent. I'm gonna throw some polyfill around the leaves just to make sure nothing happens to them. As you can see, I save all my polyfill from my plant orders. I don't buy any in these. Basically, I have 20 of these and I use them for everything. And so I'm just gonna like throw some polyfill around some of the more delicate leaves so they're not bopping around. I've only sent plants in the mail a couple times, so I'm still trying to like hone my technique. I just get so worried something's gonna happen. Okay. I mean, I think that should be fine. Like nothing can really move too much. I don't really want the leaves pressing up against the plastic because I don't want too much moisture to hit them. So I'm trying to put stuff there. I don't want leaves really touching each other too much because that could be too much moisture. Okay. Hopefully that is a decent enough situation that nothing bad happens in the post. Okay, so now I'm gonna write her a little thank you card. I always think that's a cute touch. Now I have this leftover Amazon box. That's why I always save boxes with all this extra padding and stuff. Throw this guy in here. And then I'm just putting this padding all around it so the box really cannot move at all in here. Yeah, really can't move much at all. Can I close the box? That's a good question. So thank you guys so much for being here with me while I did my plant chores. It's way more fun doing them with you. If you did any plant chores today or while you're watching this video, definitely comment down below. Let me know what you were up to. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!